Lovies. This is Michelle here at Life Matcha Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing well on this Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday evening. I still have I just did a reading before this. I still had to think about what day it is because I really have a hard time keeping track sometimes. Um, I keep thinking it's Thursday because I want the week to be done, but nope, no such luck. Um, so for those of you who are brand new to the channel, welcome, and I hope that you like what you see here. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. You get a little bit of everything. A little while ago, I just did free and paid readings, and right now we're doing something a little bit more deep, right? And I actually don't expect to have a lot of people pop up for this one. It just be like that sometimes, but yeah, so this is going to be messages from ancestors and just kind of, where folks are at this time on their journey, myself included. Hey, Castor River, aka my sister. Um, my sister, my soulie, my bestie. Hey, girl. So for those of you who have been rocking with your girl, like my girl right here, thank you for the continued support. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you. Um, hey, girl. It's funny. I was just saying, oh, I gotta hop on to Lottie's reading, and I was like, girl, I saw her when she went up. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, shit. But thank you for being here. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch your reading after I get off of here. I said it even in the reading. I was like, so y'all make sure you check out my girl. Um, yeah. So we're gonna kind of hop right on in. Oh, that makes me even want to watch it even more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat my smothered pork chops from the other day, and then I'm going to watch that. So yeah, let's dive right on in. Yeah, I don't want to do too much talking and shit because y'all know me. I be talking too damn much sometimes. I'm sure. It's just me. I am my dad's daughter. If I'm not that man's daughter. Um, yeah. So I've already cleansed the space and all that good stuff. So let's see what the cards say when I split the deck. We have spring. It says see your seeds grow along with mountains. Stand your ground. Hmm. They like stand on business, babe. All the things that you've been working really, really hard and diligently on, they're like those, like you're about to start reaping the fruit of your labor because of the fact that you've been so diligent, and they don't want you to lose sight on what it is that you've been working on. But let's see what actually pops up in the deck. I mean, from the deck itself, and onto the spread. All right, Spirit, let's get the and ancestors. Let's get the clearest, most accurate messages for the collective. What do they need to see at this time for their highest good? Clearest and most accurate messages, please. Clearest, most accurate messages. All right. Always important. We have winter. Take care of your needs. It's also giving me like with winter kind of coming up. I don't know if some of you guys get super sick like at that time of year. Um, I know I do. Um, so maybe this might be a time to kind of like start combating that before it even happens. I'm getting for some of you. Start doing things like in your regimen and stuff, taking more vitamins and stuff like that. Just being very, very mindful about how you treat your body at this time, just as a general consensus. Um, Something along those lines. That's only here on the bottom of the deck. I wouldn't be shocked if it actually showed up though. All right, so let's get a few from here, and then we'll look deeper into it with the tarot and go from there. Where I feel guided to read from. I do have a few decks just kind of here that I felt guided to draw from, and then we'll see what actually comes up. All right, so we have a burp, sorry. We have Sage, be devoted and committed. So this is a time to be really devoted and committed to the things that it is that you've been working on. Just like how I was saying before, that they want you to know, like this is a time to really like make sure you don't lose sight on the things that it is that you've been wanting to do. It's hard. I get it. I get it. They're saying I get it. Like, it's hard. It's not easy, right? um when a lot of things are happening in life, and it's like you start losing hope in sight of the things that they want you to work on, or the things that you want to even work on. And they're like, look, Shaolin master, be graceful in movement and action. Move with grace, move with dignity, as you do the things that it is that you would like to do. You don't have to be hasty in your decision making. This is a time to be calculated and very, very discerning, and intentional. So, but the thing is, the whole point is that they really want you to be very, very strict about what it is that you want at this time, and rest on that. I just heard the words rest assured. So tell us more. Notice how I shifted the energy, right? When I said us, before I said the collective, now I'm saying us, because I feel like I fall in line with a lot of the stuff that I'm receiving. All right, so we have stag. Um, Trust and thrive, right? Trust the process. The more that you trust in what it is that you're meant to do at this time, the things that you've been feeling guided to do, the things that you've been wanting to work on, that's when you're going to start seeing movement, right? It's about being really diligent about staying close and true to the things that is that you want. I think what they're really trying to get at so far is just what I keep picking up on, because I feel like I'm being really repetitive here with the wording, and I do apologize for that. But I think the reason why is because they really want me to make sure that keep reiterating the fact that I think that a lot of you guys are losing hope about something, myself included. I can say I can resonate with that. You keep putting yourself, your efforts into something, and then you're like, oh my god, like, what the fuck, when the hell am I going to see slash yield the results of what it is that I've been putting my effort into? I don't see anything, nothing's happening. And then it makes you feel like, okay, well, why am I even trying? I'm just going to give up. And that might be where you guys are right now. Like, you don't want to do it anymore, because you're like, you don't feel like you're yielding the results that you feel at this point you should be kind of seeing. We do have autumn, which ironically we are in the fall season. It says, on the picture, now I'm looking at the imagery too. We do have a crow here, right? That's a death and rebirth energy, and the autumn is also about death and rebirth too. Like, we look at it like, wow, this is so pretty, look at the leaves falling. Literally, the world around us is decaying. Like, I'm not trying to be like, sourpuss about it, but it's true. Like, that's literally what fall is about things falling apart. you know it's about things falling away to welcome in what's about to come in. We're preparing for the harvest, right? So we go through, things falling away. That's the fall. Then the winter is isolation. And then the spring is about, reaping the rewards of the things that you've put forward during that isolation. Does that make sense? I hope that that's making sense. But yeah, there's something about this death and rebirth energy. They're like, this is a time right now to really focus on that. They're like, okay, there's things that you have to release, right? At this time, during the fall season in particular, let that shit go, so that you can welcome in the new. And you can't welcome in the new without also focusing. The card's not here, but we did see it at the bottom of the deck earlier. You have to make sure you take care of your needs. You have to make sure that your needs are met, so that you can welcome in these new things that are about to start happening. And we still have Shaolin Master, about being graceful in your movements and action. So, yeah. And look, I can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. You're in the middle of the deck. You can't make it up even if you wanted to. It's just, they ain't playing with y'all. They're like, look, I'm getting like a granny or something like that. Like, I want my baby to be good. tell them this. Like I'm getting something like that. Some of you might have family from the south, very like very southern accent. For some, that's not gonna be for everybody, but I kind of heard like a southern accent for somebody. Um, yeah, like my baby gonna be okay. Like you know how like that southern hospitality and how like our ancestors. For those of you who resonate, with having ancestors from the south, like that accent, especially if they're like not from the south, and then like but you hear your person's like accent kicking in. It'll make sense to you. If it makes sense, it makes sense. Like that seems specific. I know that's not gonna be for everybody, but like I definitely heard that. Something about like a southern I heard Southern Belle. So this person might have been like really, really like good looking, a little, you know, like just really attractive back in the day, in their heyday. Like, I'm getting like the press and curl with like, the curly little, I'm getting like swing dancing and shit. Like I literally have a whole scene in my head as I'm like talking to you guys. So I'm just saying like some of this really might resonate. Like a whole thing, like your granny or somebody or a great aunt or something like that might have like told you stories about this type of stuff. About, oh yeah, when I used to go to like this club and like I'm getting something like that. Again, very specific. Tell us more. All right, we have Protection Guardian. Drop your shields. So I'm getting that 11:55 as I was about to start talking about this card. Some of you guys probably have just been so guarded, right? And just like on edge all the time, like constantly, like not knowing what's about to happen, worrying about the next thing and that thing. And it's like they're basically kind of like, even as I'm talking, I'm getting winded as I'm talking. It's like, take a moment to breathe, right? They're like, look, drop the burdens, the burdens that you've started to create for yourself of like, my nose just started itching. Sorry. Like the burdens that you've maybe and narratives that you started to create in your own, space, in your own head of how bad things might be right now. And they're like, look, or like, just being super like, you know, hyper vigilant, you know what I mean, about everything all the time. It's like you first off, I have to really take like a deep breath right now. Like you gotta take a breather. Allow them to come in and help you. Easier said than done. I get it because I go through the same shit. And it's like, they're like, drop your guards. Woosah. You're protected. You're okay. They really want you to feel this energy of feeling like you're safe. I'm getting also that your root chakra might be off for some of you. This might be a time to start working on your root chakra, get grounded, spending time outdoors, and that might be a great way to do this and connect with your ancestors too, right? We are talking about ancestral reading, so this might be a good time for you as my lower back starts to hurt all of a sudden. Um, it's giving me like this is a time to get rooted and grounded too. Um, Let me know if this is resonating for you guys. Hit that like button as the messages are making sense and you're feeling like this is helpful for you. Let's get like maybe 3 more from here, and then we're gonna start tapping into the tarot portion of the reading. All right, what we got? I just got super like winded. I'm just sitting. Like there's no reason to feel like that. Like, and in fact, I just want to see what like my heart rate is. It's almost 90. I'm just sitting. Usually my resting heart rate is like usually in the 70s. So like for it to be pushing 90, I'm like hyper vigilant. Like I feel like I'm on alert right now. All right, shaman. Trust in higher forces, right? Exactly. Trust, right? They want you to trust in what you don't necessarily know and see at this time. The more that you understand that there are things outside of yourself that are here to help you and guide you at this time, that is when you're going to start to feel a little bit of a little relief. I feel like, it's really giving, like, for those of you who believe in like law of attraction and things like that, the power of surrender and all that stuff. It's like all that stuff's very, very similar. It's just the wording. But the overall elements and energies that are associated with those concepts very similar. It's really is just about a release and surrender kind of thing. I think a lot of us, we want to try to have control over our lives, which is not a bad thing in and of itself. But what happens is sometimes we get so, again, hyper vigilant about wanting to control every little aspect of our lives to the point where we don't allow for something else to come in. We have to understand there are sources outside, excuse me, of ourselves that also have a sense of um control, I guess we could say, for lack of a better word, a sense of control over some of the outcomes and stuff that we have that happen in our lives. um it's one of those easier said than done kind of scenarios. It's like, well, I don't want to just leave things to chance. I have to take care of it. And it's like, well, sometimes you gotta, it's no different than like, for those of us who might be a little more religious, right? What do we do? Well, not we, because I'm not religious, but just in general. People who are religious, they turn to God in prayer. Okay, so for those of us who are spiritual, what do? We do something that might be slightly different. Um, a lot of us still do believe in God, just not, in a religious context. It's more about, God is everywhere. God is omnipresent, right? God is, it's in me, it's in you. It's a being, right? It's not a he, it's not a she, right? So on and so forth. But we're not gonna get into a whole, like, see my girl IT, she'll school you. She's good with that. I'll be like, damn, she be shutting people down. And she got books to fucking pick from and be like, oh, you want to say that I don't know about this and that? Oh, I got that. I have that particular version of the Bible right here. Let me pull from that too. Like, she'll put you in your fucking place and not play any fucking games. See, I mean, I know stuff, but I don't know stuff. You know what I mean? I know enough, right? But anyway, point being, like, listen. And those of us who also might come from a religious background, right? That too is like, I came from a religious background, and I learned a lot. And then when I started learning more about different types of theologies and things like that, now I have a different way of looking at things, in a different way I look at that source of power. I look at source in a totally different light than I used to. So a lot of you guys might be going through something similar to that, and it's kind of just like this energy of, okay, well, how do I really surrender? How do I let go of the things I used to think I knew and welcome in the things that I know, right? I'm getting something like that. So let me know if that makes sense. I know that was, wow, that one card, I talked about it probably for almost 5 minutes. That's kind of ridiculous. I apologize. It gets like that on here, guys. I do not expect this to have a lot of views, but it's okay. Oh man. So, it's funny. Like, me and you are probably gonna be like watching that reading at the same goddamn time. Ooh, shouldn't say it like that, right? God damn, I shouldn't say that. At the same darn time, right? I'm trying to, go to hell and gas them jaws or anything. Yeah. I don't need any punitive stuff happening to me for talking like that. I'm not taking those because it was so right, but I'll take that one. That one felt right. All right, so we have Hunter, track down your fears and desires. Um, yeah, yeah. Hot grease, baby. uh, it's funny. I almost got dropped out of my own reading earlier. My thing redirected itself or whatever, reconnected, I should say. It like dropped and then reconnected. That's funny that you said that. That you got dropped out of the reading earlier for Lati's reading. That happens a lot, like during the lives. It's like when those messages are like really coming out and hitting, like all of a sudden something like all of a sudden something happens and it's like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's something beyond us that we don't know, don't necessarily even want to see, that gets funky. As Aya just, that's a good word. Why getting funky on me? Tell me exactly. They don't want you to hear the message. Why get funky on me? Tell me why. Track down your fears and desires. Yeah. Tracking down the source of things, understanding what all these things mean. Um, I'm also getting, especially because we were talking about ancestral reading. There are things that sometimes are passed down through the lineage. Um, there is now there are now studies that show and prove that trauma and stuff can be passed down through the lineage, through the blood. It is now genetic. So using, okay, I'm a black woman. I don't like to throw race into everything, but I'm just making this as a point. I'm a black woman. My ancestors are obviously from Africa, and not are they only not from Africa, but on top of that, they were enslaved. And my family, in particular on my mom's side, was from North and South Carolina. So my great great grandparents, their parents were enslaved. Um, or should not even my great greats, my great grandparents, their parents were enslaved. Yep, they were. Or like right, like borderline, like right when it was about to be over, they were babies when, like, you know, everything went down with, like, the abolishment of enslavements and all that. So point being is, the things that the traumas that transpired for my mom's, ancestors are not that far away, right? Yeah, the trauma is passed down. So prime example, my mom's great grandmother, yeah, her great grandmother, it's funny, one of them, she was, let me see if I can remember how this worked, because I always ask her and I always get it mixed up. I believe it was on her paternal side, if I'm not mistaken. Her paternal side, her great grandmother was dark skinned, very dark skinned, but she hated dark skinned people. So she catered to the lighter grandkids that she had and the lighter great grandkids that she had. So my mom didn't make the cut. My mom and I are about the same complexion. She didn't make the cut. But my Aunt Wendy, who is my mom's twin sister, not paternal, fraternal twin sister, made the cut because she was light skinned, or is light skinned, not was. Knock on wood. Love my auntie and I want her to be here as long as possible. Same thing with like the texture of the hair. Now, ironically, my mom's hair is more of a softer texture than my aunt's hair, which is a little bit more coily. But yet, like, my mom has, like, I want to say white people hair, but like she has, like, I guess you would say almost like Indian texture hair. Like her hair is very wavy and just like, whereas my aunt, her sister, her twin sister, the light skinned one, has actually more coily hair, probably closer to my texture. How ironic is that? So it's like almost like I'm like neither one of these bitches because they ain't white enough. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, my great great grandmother, she was on the cusp. She was little when there was no more slavery, but she still had that slave mentality. Okay, that trauma was brought down and brought down and brought down, right? So, and I'm getting like shivers as I talk about it and like a quiver in my stomach. But it is one of those things that are passed down within our culture that a lot of us don't like to talk about. As Lati just said, colorism is a big thing. Hair texture, another thing, right? Or eye color. The lighter your eyes are, or the straighter your hair, the lighter you are. I literally have almost all the things working against me. Like, the only thing is because I have Cape Verdean ancestry, I I have a very tiny nose. So like people look at me, they're like, "What the hell? Like, there's something about this girl. Like she obviously she black as fuck because her hair, my natural hair, is nappy, which I don't care. I think my hair is beautiful. I love my nappy hair. You know what I mean? That's why I've been natural for 11 years. But like it's funny because like if I were to let like how I used to like feel about myself, and so I think the reason why I'm like going off about this a lot is because there's something about this that I need to tell you guys, because I usually would have shut this part of this reading off and just kept going, but there's something important about this. So there are definitely people within this reading who are watching or who are going to watch at some point, who are going to resonate with this. One of the things that they might want you to know, your ancestors, is the fact that yes, you are beautiful. Do not let the the colonization and things of that nature get the best of you when it comes to how you feel about yourself. I'm getting something along those lines, or what, not to I'm not knocking people who are of European descent. I don't want you guys to like feel like I'm like talking down to you. It's just this part seems very specific and I just want to make sure I put this out there. So what I mean by this is there might be some of us who will resonate with the idea that like even like right now I have my hair straight, right? So I don't know how many, and again, not being offended by anybody or anything like that, but there's so many people like, oh my god, you look so pretty with your hair straight. It's almost like, oh, so I don't look pretty with, and it's not me being offended, it's more just it's a stereotype, right? It's like, oh, you're not pretty or as pretty with your hair, and I'm not offended by these things anymore, but it's the mental thing, right? It's the ideologies that have been associated with things like straighter hair, and this is happening or has been happening forever within my culture. The straighter your hair is, the prettier you are. The lighter you are, the prettier you are. The smaller your nose or smaller your lips, the prettier you are. Now, ironically, the same things that those who resonate with what I'm saying, the ironic part is the same things that they say that is not pretty about us are the same things that they're trying to get done. Lip fillers, higher cheekbones, fillers in the cheeks, right? A lot of us naturally have big breasts. A lot of us naturally have a big ass. These are all things that they're getting done to look a little bit more like us. And again, or perms. Like they literally people used to get perms, or they like, oh god, I hate my straight stringy ass hair. Let me do something to make it look more bigger and fuller. Right? The same things that we don't like about ourselves are the same things that people have told us are ugly about ourselves, and that's why we don't like these things about ourselves. Yet other people are getting the same things to look like us, and vice versa sometimes. So it really boils down to being comfortable with ourselves in our own skin, no matter what your background is, and just understanding that we're all beautiful no matter what our culture is. This is not me knocking one culture over another. It's not that. I'm just simply talking about my own experience as a black woman and what a lot of other black women have gone through, right? So the fact that I thought that I was unprofessional for having a fro, and even a family member told me that. And when I started my locks, you're never going to get a professional job. Literally, a cousin of mine told me this. You're never going to have a professional job with locks. I'm a teacher. Clearly, it's bullshit, right? So it's like, and then I dyed my locks bright ass red. Teacher. You know what I mean? So there's something important about image, about how you feel about yourself, right? I'm getting something like that. I don't know why they wanted me to go so deep into that. They wanted me to go deep into that for some reason. But something about it, because look, We have Spirit Fox here. Trust your talents in changing times. Yeah, exactly. You guys might be like a martyr of some sort when it comes to making sure that, these things are heard and seen. Thing 3003 when I said that. There's something about changing times that you guys might be important. Something that you have to say might be important when it comes to how things are addressed, maybe in the workforce or something like that. I'm getting something like that. Or if this is more internalized and this is about how you feel about yourself, they're like, look, there's something about you that's special and unique. Hone in on that and be okay with it. Don't worry, yeah, and take care of your needs. They really want to emphasize on that. And what's one more? Guardian angel, you are not alone. Yeah, they're here guiding you along the way, right? So again, I know that was like very drawn out, and I do apologize for how drawn out that was, but there is a reason why they wanted me to get all that out. Apparently, a lot of you guys are resonating with that. Those of you who are here, let me just read over the this stuff here. Yeah, Monique. Oh, girl, it's the funniest thing. Like even when I had a relaxer back in the day, my hair was a little bit longer than it is right now. My hair used to be like here, and then I cut my hair off to go completely natural. So I had like a little tiny little fro like that, like not even like that. It was actually smaller. It was like that. It was very tiny, and literally a TWA, tiny weenie fro. And a lot of people were mad at me for doing it. They're like, "Why'd you cut off all that pretty hair?" I'm like, because I wanted to let go of what's not me. Like I shouldn't have to chemically process my hair to be found attractive or acceptable within society here in America anyway. Like that's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? So I cut my hair off. I had a little tiny ass fro, let it grow out, and then I locked my hair. And I had my locks for almost 9 years, and they were like down a little past my butt, and then I cut them off. And then people were mad about that too. So it's like, I'm like, first off, I don't give a fuck what y'all think. You know what I mean? If you got something negative to say, kiss my ass. And now it's like, obviously you guys who have been rocking with me for a while, y'all know I have a fro. And it's a straightened right now. But yeah, when it's my fro like state, I get a lot of compliments about my fro. Everybody's like, oh, I love your fro. But when it's like this, it's like, oh my God. Like there's people who thought I was a new person at my job. I'm like, no, it's still me. I'm still the same person. It's so funny. It's hilarious. But it's kind of nice like popping up on people and they don't know that I'm gonna do it and I just like randomly do it, just like how I cut my locks off and I just went back to work. People are like, who the fuck is this girl? Oh fuck, that's Michelle. I'm like, yeah, it's me. But yeah, we can grow our fucking hair too, guys. I'm just saying for the non black folks, we can grow hair too. um yeah, we don't have to necessarily be mixed or anything like that. Like technically I am of not, let's put it like this. Calling a spade here, most of us are of mixed ancestry in general, really. All of us. If you take a genealogy test, you have mixed ancestry. I can almost promise you. There's nobody who's a pure anything. Let's start there. But on top of that, most black people, especially here in the States, are of mixed ancestry. We got some Native American in there somewhere. We got white in there somewhere, so on and so forth. I am 35% white. Looking at me, would you think that? Probably not. 35%, but I'm also Cape Verdean, half Cape Verdean. And then so you take my dad's ancestry, which is that half, and then my mom's ancestry, she's mixed up too. So it's like, well shit. Makes a lot of fucking sense. You know what I mean? So when people look at me, they're always like asking me, like, what the fuck are you? Like, I'm like, human? That's the first, a lot of times that's the first thing I say, being a smart ass, as if I don't know what they mean. But yeah, it's wild. But I love the fact that you guys are entertaining this conversation and understand where I'm going with this. Cause like, I know like, it seems like I'm kind of like, okay, like, can you shut up now? Like, but there was something important about that. So I just wanted to make sure I, talked about it. Wow, 2007. Damn, even longer than me. Shit. I started my locks in the first set, because I do plan on starting again. 2014 was when I started mine. And 2007 is actually when my son was born. I still had a relaxer back then. But yeah, it's wild. Yeah, yeah. When I oh gosh, when I started my locks, people were not happy at first because like I said, they were like the little tiny little like, and I tried to grow my hair out a little bit first, but they were very short. They were like probably like that all over my head. So like they weren't necessarily the cutest things in the world, but yeah, it was one of those kind of things. And yeah, it was funny because like I did struggle a little bit. I was like, damn, how do I make myself look more attractive? These are the things I told myself. I'm like, how do I make myself look more attractive? How do I make myself look more girly? Blah 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 blah. And I just had to learn like, tough shit. If you don't like it, tough titty, as my grandmother would say. Tough titty. Like this is what I got going on. If you don't like it, choose fucking bad. It's my hair. Just like when I cut my locks off, people were like, it's funny because some of the same people were talking shit about when I started my locks were the same people who talked shit when I cut them. How funny is that? Yeah, earrings and makeup definitely made a difference. And I do see someone is here. Hi, Intuitive Reads with Jen. How are you? I remember your name. Um, Actually, right now I'm just doing a collective reading, and I'm gonna stop blabbering on because like I know that there's certain people here right now who like are resonating and who I talk to regularly on here. So I think like I kind of went off topic a little bit, but I'm gonna come back, regroup. But yeah, this is a general message here. So I'm gonna pull from the tarot now. I'm gonna do a cross of truth, but I'm gonna modify it a little bit. All right. So what does the collective need to know at this time before I blabber on too much? Because that is one thing I'm really, really good at. I love the fact that you guys are okay with it, though. You guys are like, I'm gonna let her rock. Got it. Okay. That makes a lot of sense to me. So, for a lot of you guys are working on the concept because this is the overall slash current energy. A lot of you guys right now are just really working on challenging old ways of doing things and old ways of thinking. Makes a lot of sense to me, which tends to be one of the common traits when it comes to doing these ancestral readings. Um, the toxic shit that you guys are releasing and letting go of when it comes to the stuff from your past, your genealogy, your lineage. Um, you're working on figuring out how to switch that up because there's all these different traditions and things. As we do have the Hierophant. That's one you guys to see the cards. We have the Hierophant and the Devil. They came out together, right? So it's like you got this going on here, and yeah, you're walking away from those things with this Eight of Cups. This is like you're embarking on a new journey at this time, trying to figure out where to go, navigating where to go. And right now they're letting you know we're with you, we're guiding you. There's a lot of stress and anxiety associated with this. It's gonna look different for everybody, so please take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. But I know we talked a lot about like body image and trauma passed down. So there could be a lot of things that were passed down, like in terms of traumas and stuff, possibly about appearance or something like that. For some of you, I know that seems very specific, but this could be the case for somebody that you're still working through, and this is a time for you to continue to work on that. And just understand that they're behind you all along the way throughout all of this. This seems very specific. If there's anybody who's been having an issue or thought they were going to have an issue when it comes to finding work based on image, especially those of you who are in the community that I come from, I'm getting that as a possible message for somebody. Again, take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. That's not going to be for everybody. But for those of you who resonated with what I was talking about a little while ago, um, some of you might be trying to like embark on a new journey when it comes to a career path. And you're like, okay, so will I even get a job because of X, Y, and Z? I'm getting something like that. Again, that seems very specific. That's not going to be for everybody. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of anxiety about it. Yeah, but they're basically letting you know there will be success and victory here. It's just a matter of standing firm in what it is that you want and what you believe in. Um, I think a lot of you guys have been understanding that a lot of the stuff that you were taught growing up and stuff like that, those things don't resonate with you anymore, whether it's the religion that you came from or just different value systems and beliefs that just don't make sense. It doesn't align with where you are currently. I'm getting something like that. Again, very specific. Let me know if it makes sense. As these messages are making sense, please hit that like button and subscribe button if you are new to the channel. All right, so what else we got? Like I said, I know I've been kind of rambling a lot more than I expected to, but it seems like Spirit wanted me to make sure I brought those things to y'all's attention for some reason. Um, what else is going on here? Hmm. Wow. Okay, so what I'm getting is that one of the things that, or something that is being released from, I'm hearing the word the lineage. One of the things that you guys are really meant to be working on at this time is like taking ownership. It's about leadership right now. This is a time to lead. I feel like maybe in the past, some of your ancestors might have been more passive. I'm getting something like that. Like they might have been super strong in some ways and very, very passive in other ways. And they're basically saying like, this is a time to like not allow for anyone or anything, belief systems, whatever, what have you, to dictate where you're meant to go as you seek this new direction in your life, because there are new things coming in that you're meant to embark on. And now it's just really about making a conscious decision to say, okay, yeah, enough's enough, and I need to be the one to sever those ties from these things from the past that no longer align with where I'm trying to go. The things that might have caused a deterrent in my family's life over the years, so on and so forth. So it look different for everybody. I'll use my family as an example. I think on both sides of my family, my mom and my dad's side, one of the things that I'm meant to work on in terms of like an ancestral, like, you know, curse, blockage, whatever word you would like to use, a big one is the fact that there's been so many broken homes. There's been so many okay, so even like when there's marriage and stuff involved, what ends up happening is there's always like this energy of, on both sides of the family, of, how can I put it without just saying broken homes, because I that happens everywhere, but someone always kind of being like the very, very domineering one in the relationship, and the other one kind of falling behind, and then it ends up becoming basically an abusive relationship. I'm getting something like that. Like I know that's happened on both sides of my family, and I've repeated those patterns multiple times in my own life, and now I'm like, okay, well, I don't want my son to see that, and I want him to be able to see what it looks like to have a successful relationship. Thankfully, he's seeing that in his life now in a different capacity, and there's this thing that's being broken when it comes to what does a family dynamic actually look like. It's about partnership. It's about being able to work together as a team and build up together, build an empire together, not it being very one-sided or it being very controlling and domineering. That's not a relationship, right? So I'm getting this very, very specific, right? That's my thing that I need to work on, breaking, right? It's gonna look different for everybody. Another thing I can mention too is just like, coming from a very, very religious background. And now that people, even in my own family, are waking up and saying, ooh, we were a little too overzealous about that now, weren't we? You know what I mean? It's like some of y'all might be going through something like that. And again, there's nothing wrong with being religious, but there's definitely a such thing as being overly religious, right? Just like there's people who are, in the spiritual, world who are a little bit overzealous about that too. I'm like, I do not agree with that shit. Don't put me in that category. I ain't on that one. You know what I mean? So people are just a little bit too much for me. And it happens across the board, right? There's always, your alpha people in any community. How they say like left off right type shit is like, you know what I mean? It's in everything. There's extremists there. That's a good word to use. There's extremists in everything, and yeah, it's just like no different than like, if you know the history behind, uh, Christianity and stuff like that, the Crusades and stuff like that. Those were extremists who went and killed off all these people, right? Does that mean that whole religion is bad? No. Or that like when, you get the Muslims who do shit like, what happened with like 9/11. Does that make every Muslim bad? No. Right? And that goes for any religion and any belief system. So like it's not okay to sit there and, say every single thing is bad. It's just about being able to pinpoint the things that are not so great and being able to doctor it up your own way and shift your way of thinking, your belief system. There you go. So again, rambling again, very specific, but let me know if that makes sense. I do apologize. Wow, I knew this was gonna kind of go off because it always goes like this, but like, yeah. Mm, wow. Wow. That's deep. That's wild. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Too much of anything is off balance. Exactly. Yep. So you guys see exactly where I'm going with this, right? Exactly. Like I'm not going to sit there and, denounce, you know, Catholics because of what happens in, the higher ups in the Catholic Church. There's bad and good in everything. And I will never sit there and denounce anybody's belief systems because of the few bad apples. You know what I mean? That's why this is a safe place. Like I will never be that person. Like you guys know exactly my fellow readers here right now. Check them out. In fact, Tears and Wheat Tarot Show as well as I Inspired Tarot. I would strongly suggest reaching out to them and or subscribing to their channels. They're absolutely amazing at what they do. But excuse me, yeah, the point of what I was about to make here is like a lot of burps. I'm sorry, like spirit is like trying to get all this out of me. So I'm talking so much, like a regurgitation almost. Um, but yeah, you guys definitely, you get the point, right? You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't denounce a whole, belief system or whatever, or religion or blah blah blah. Like, no, that's wrong, And we get people. That's what I was trying to say. We get people on here all the time, especially when we're live or something like that. Lati in particular really knows about this. When people come in there, the Bible thumpers, as you will. And it's my little nickname that I've given to the overzealous Christians who come on our channels and talk shit about what we do. And it's like, bro, if you even knew the history, right? We're not even judgy or anything, but like if you knew the history about the things that you believe in, to that extent that you believe in it. Like, it's one thing to use it as like a roadmap to where you're going and stuff like that, right? And how you live your life. That's good. That's not bad, right? But when you start judging everybody else and not even be able to see what the fuck you're doing yourself, you don't even realize you're judging right now by talking shit about me. Like, come on now, come on, like, get over yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and this is a conversation that happens a lot within this community. So it's like, it's something, you know, especially us putting ourselves out there lives and on the lives and stuff like that, and in a public forum like this. Like, you know, we definitely get our share of, you know, hate and things like that, and people talking shit, and we just be like, you know what, it is what it is. I know that, you know, I know what I believe in. I know that I'm not a bad person, and I don't even necessarily need to be religious to know what's good and bad. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? And I think I live in a pretty high standard for the most part. I'm not perfect, right? Well, none of us are, but I don't pass judgment onto other people in that capacity, right? So I say all that to say that I think a lot of you guys will resonate with the idea, because I know I'm rambling again. Definitely shifting and reshaping your way of how you do things at this time, and just figuring out where you're going. And it's a little bit lonely because sometimes you feel like you're doing it by yourself, but you were the chosen one, or at least one of them within your family, who are meant to help navigate and guide your family at this time, and others as well, not just your family but just in general, people who are like maybe your soul tribe even, right? As they work on the things that they're working on and doing the things that they're doing, so on and so forth. And, you know, each one teach one. You're all helping each other, right? So I'm getting something along those lines. Um, yeah, but exactly, it's wild, man. It's crazy. All right, tell us more. I knew this was gonna be a heavier reading. I felt that energy before I even started the reading. But wow, it's like I feel like I'm just going like a mile per minute. Um, So I do apologize, you know, if it's not as, you know, fast in the sense of getting the messages out as quickly as I usually can get them out. But I think it's more because of the fact that it's very contextualized. It's like they really want me to focus on the cards themselves and the energy around those cards versus just getting messages out super quick. So there's not even a lot of cards here right now presented, but there's a lot of energy behind the cards that I'm presenting to you guys. So I do hope that it's been helpful so far. I don't expect this reading to get a lot of people to watch it, but I do hope that at least that the people who do watch it and who are meant to watch it resonate and get something out of it. All right. Thank you. Mm. All right. So, hmm, yeah. All right. So I am getting that they want you at this time to. This is an interesting one. I'm getting that they want you to kind of resolve. I heard the word dissolve too. Dissolve any conflicts with people, especially within the family, who don't necessarily align with what it is that you want to do, who might look down upon you. But yeah, I'm getting like dissolved. That's the word I heard. Dissolve. There's a dissolution of, you know, the conflicts. This is the card that's here as the things that they want you to work on. With this Five of Wands here, we have the Emperor. For some of you, it might be some even an issue with your father or a father figure, a male. Um, they want you to let that go. Four of Pentacles in the middle of the deck, with the top of the deck being Two of Cups. I think that they want you to try to work on some partnerships with people who might not necessarily agree with what it is that you're trying to do, but put aside your differences possibly to move towards something and go from there. It might still not work out, and that's perfectly okay, as long as you know you've done your part, right? You've extended maybe even the olive branch. I heard that in a reading earlier. um I don't know whose reading it was. I don't remember. I did a bunch of readings earlier for the free stuff, but like I did like for somebody I heard like extending the olive branch. If that person ends up watching this, that message might be for them. But yeah, extending the olive branch and being able to say, okay, this is a time to put away like those differences and whatnot and try to, build together. It might not work depending on where that person stands in the relationship and the circumstances. However, I do feel like they just want you to know that this is a important time to be able to put aside the differences, um, and just let nature take its course. Like if this person is meant to kind of see like a different side of the situation, then another thing I'm getting to for some of you might be seeing the number five a lot, or a variation of like 515, 51, 15, 15, 15. I'm getting like something about that. Let me know if that makes sense. But that seems like it might be important at this time. Let's see if I missed anything. Mm, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, that is wild. Mm, yep. Wow. Look at that. Connected with my people, man. I'm connected with my people. That's why I'm telling you guys who end up watching this, check out my girls, Tears and Wheat Tarot show and I Inspired Tarot. And she's not here currently, at least I don't think she is, but Caster River as well. Um, Another amazing reader, all amazing readers who I would strongly suggest checking out, reaching out to for your own personal readings, so on and so forth, or just watch their content on like Facebook and stuff on here. These are people who I go to for advice and things like that. So just saying, check them out. See a little bit more about this. Okay. Some of you might have fire in your chart. I see a lot of fire energy in this reading, by the way. If you don't have fire in your chart, it's just more so the energy that you've been feeling like you're in, very like passionate about something. Like it's almost giving me like, you ever like think about a little kid who's like really trying to get their point across, and they're like stomping their foot. They're just listen to me. Like it's giving me like that. I don't know why, like I saw that image in my head, but like I don't know if you, like maybe as a kid, perhaps some of you maybe didn't feel like you were being heard or something like that, and like you would really try to stake your fucking claim, prove your point, and nobody would listen. Like your parents wouldn't listen to you. They're like, "Oh, you're lying," or blah blah, blah, or they just don't want to hear what you have to say. And it's like now it's like you're at this point in your life, like, no, you're gonna fucking hear me, and you're gonna listen good, okay? Like you're not gonna keep playing in my goddamn face, and I'm a whole grown ass adult now. You gotta listen to what I gotta say. Fuck that shit. Like I feel like I'm getting something like that. Um, like yeah, I'm like envisioning like a little kid just like at their wits end, like five, maybe like a 5 or 6 year old or something, and like just trying like really get the attention of like an adult or something, or somebody older than them, like listen to me, like blah blah blah, and like still not being heard. Like very specific. Like that's not gonna resonate with everybody, I know, but like that's what I'm seeing in my head. But nonetheless, even if that part doesn't resonate, I am just getting this energy of you guys like really standing on business. You're like, fuck this shit. I know, embarking on this new journey in your life. You're very passionate about it, and you're like, okay, this is hard. This is different. It's new. It's scary. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going because nobody else has been here. So who do I go to even like a trusting person or a trusted person to get insight? You might not have anybody, which is hard, because you're like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I get it. Like this is completely brand new. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I think part of the thing too here is just like that they want you to do this on your own. We got the Nine of Pentacles here. They're like, they want you to do this on your own. You're meant to be that person to, like, bring this new energy, to your family dynamics, and this new information, if you will, right? New way of doing things, you know, collaborating with the right people within your family. Because, like, I know, like, in my family, it's very, very nuanced. It's very, very split. Like, on my mom's side, oh gosh, they are way different than my dad's side. My dad's side is a little more open. My mom's side, oh gosh, we're talking about, like, straight up Bible thumpers, like, very judgy. And this is part of the reason why I was scared to even go on my Facebook saying that I do what I do. Like, I was very afraid to do that. Yet, when I did start putting it up there, guess what? A bunch of people from my dad's side reached out to me because I found out that I actually have people who do what I do. I just didn't know about it. Apparently, my grandmother had gifts and my great grandmother had gifts, but they didn't tell anybody. It's very hush hush. And now I'm like, that makes so much sense why I was so connected to my grandmother all those years and things like that. Um, a lot of stuff. And apparently there's witches in my family and stuff like that. Like, it's very, very, like, yeah. Not to mention the ones that are, like, who have, like, the Louisiana roots. I heard about that too. Um, some of them were, like, some ancestors were killed off for it. So it's like, it's a lot. There's a lot of, like, energies that I didn't even know were associated with my family until recently. And I'm like, oh shit, now it makes so much more sense. Like, I have a cousin who does what I do, but she's a medium. And she's the one who told me about the witches and stuff in the family. I didn't know this shit. This is very new news to me. I just learned this shit this year. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, this is different, it's scary, and I think that you guys are just, yeah, you guys are embarking on this new phase and journey of life and trying to figure it all out, where to go from here. But you're being guided to do it. um you might be the one that has to really be the one to open up people's eyes within your family, right, to be able to do this. And again, going back to, like, how trauma is, passed down. So let's say, and it showed up in a reading I've done for myself in the past of, past lives and stuff like that. And apparently I was killed for being a witch. And apparently it's happened in my family too, like in my genealogy. This is something that has been passed down. So there, for a long time, I've had a fear of, how do I show what I have going on, these gifts. Some of y'all might resonate with this. These gifts that we have that are looked at in such a negative way. And how do we show them off, right? So, when we're talking about people being hanged and things like that for having a gift, because they're looked down in the, or they're a healer, but then they're considered a heteric, right? Things like that. It gets it. We're going down the rabbit hole now, right, Lati? Start going down the rabbit hole. She has a podcast called that. You might want to check that out on Spotify. Just saying. I always plug in my people somewhere all the time. Let me just see if I missed anything. Hmm. Do y'all hear the screeching tires outside? That sounds crazy, don't it? Hmm. Wow, that's so crazy. And not my great, my grandmother actually was a nurse, but then she also became a social worker and a counselor. And she's one of the ones who had these gifts that she didn't really want to tell anybody about. My aunt was the one who kind of let me know, and a cousin as well. They're like, "Did you know that Nana did it?" I was like, "What? No fucking way!" And I'm like, "Oh, that makes so much fucking sense." That's crazy. Maybe one of the next readings I'll do is a past life reading. Maybe I'll do it over the weekend or next week. All right. I hope that you guys have been resonating though. Like I said, I knew that this wasn't gonna get as many people. It never does. But like I think the last one I just did had like 28 or 30 likes. Like during that time that I was reading, we got 4. I'm now granted I'm grateful for the 4 that are here and the people who have liked. But what I'm saying is it's always different, right? You know, doing things for free that seem more specific versus 1, collective readings, and 2, things that are this in depth, right? We're not talking about a love reading or something like that. Let this have been like a love reading, I guarantee you it'll still be more people than this. But again, I do feel like, you know, I'm reaching out to the right people right now, and the people who are meant to watch this are going to watch. So I'm always thankful for that, for sure. That's funny. Here I only see 4, but hey, I'll take it. um, Either way, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for y'all. Wow, interesting. All right, so we have 5 might be significant at this time. Then the number 5. I can't see that 5th like that you guys are talking about, but there were just 5 people in here. 5. Well, you guys are saying 5 likes now. This number, so you might be seeing the number 555 a lot. I'm also getting a countdown. You might be seeing like 456 or 654. Very specific. Let me know if that makes sense. But yes, this is about accepting defeat. It's also giving me more like sorry guys. Ugh. Titties in the way. Damn. Fucking titties. Yeah, it's giving me more. Hi Carolyn, how are you? Um this is giving me more of a energy of walking away, surrendering, um understanding that there are these things that need to fall away, right? We talked about that very early on in the reading, things that need to fall away, that you have to let go of. Yeah, look, embarking on that journey that I mentioned several times in this reading, 8 of Cups. um yeah. Aw, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, the sun. Yes, exactly. Like it's basically just saying that this is a time right now for you guys to, you know, you're walking into this new phase of your life, right? You're letting these things go. You know, you're really living for yourself, but you're also living for your people, your tribe, you know, your ancestors, so on and so forth, so that you can move on into a new phase, enlighten people, right? That's a big part of this. Enlightenment is a big part of this. I feel like being able to understand what all this stuff means, and understand that, you know, all those fears and the traumas and things like that, those things, you know, they were set in place to help you guys be able to go on this new journey and phase of your life at this time. Very scary shit. Okay, this is not easy. um yeah, yeah, and it comes down to the foundation, right? With this 4 of Wands, I mean, exactly, like it's the foundation, the foundational stuff that is being released in order to, bring up. Wow, I went like this. Looking over my glasses, I was like, fuck, I can't see anything over there on that side of the room. There's like a little bookshelf over there. Wow, it just looked like lines versus like books. Wow, my eyes are shot. I need to really like go back to the eye doctor. Like these are working for now, but I need like a new prescription. And yeah, my eyes are getting really bad. But anyway, that's why I've been wearing them more lately on here. I usually don't wear my glasses, but I can't fucking see shit. I be trying to like talk to y'all here. I'm like, I can't even see nothing. But yeah, so I do hope that you guys are resonating so far. So I'm gonna read from like two or three more decks. Okay, I'm gonna read from this one first. For those of you who have been rocking with me for a bit, y'all already know about this particular deck and why it's important to me. All right, so for this deck here, this is the guiding light deck. So I use this deck a lot of times when I do these type of readings, like about guidance, or especially like ancestor ones, because guess what? My grandfather left this for me. My paternal grandfather left this feather for me. He manifested this within my house to connect with me. Very pristine, very perfect. I don't have any like not furniture, but any like pillows or blankets or anything that have feathers in it. There would be no way that a perfectly white feather like this would get into my house without it being like on a shoe or something like that. And it also would not just randomly pop up on my couch when I went to the bathroom and I come back and there's just a random feather on the couch. So my girl Castor River, my best friend, she actually was the one who was able to describe who the person was who left it for me. And when she described them, I was like, that sounds like my grandfather. I showed her a picture. She was like, that's him. I was like, thank you. She was like, yep, that's the person. I was like, well, shit. She was like, yeah, he's light skinned. He got like wavy hair. And he's really handsome. And I'm like, I was like, and she explained like his clothes. That's the thing that made me realize it was like an older person. Like she was like, they look young, but they're older, and it's a male, blah blah blah. You know, she was explaining like the clothes and stuff because he's suggesting like suits and shit. He was like real spiffy, and I was like, that sounds like my grandfather. And then I was like, does he look like this? No, behold, it was him. So he left that for me. So I'm gonna grab 3 from here. So I use this deck a lot when I do these type of ancestor messages. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, exactly. We got freedom of choice here. On the bottom of the deck, it says, your choices are yours to make. Don't allow others to make your choices for you. Exactly. I feel like a lot of you guys have been living for other people, right? Um, and can't seem to sometimes differentiate what it is that you want for yourself versus what other people want for you, and vice versa. Hence why one of the very, very first cards here was the Hierophant that came out with the devil. Like, this is literally about you guys making free will choices here to be able to do, what you need to do for yourself, right? And thank you for that compliment, hun. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, thank you guys for letting her know that or them know, because I'm assuming you're a woman, but I could be wrong. I'll just say them. I don't like to make assumptions. But yeah, thank you for letting them know. Yeah, my mods just said it. Um, that I'm very sporadic on here. I don't have a set schedule. I want to learn to work on that, but I just read when I feel like I'm meant to read. Unfortunately, like there's readers who could just go on whenever. I can't really do that. It's more about when I feel up to it. So I do apologize for that inconvenience. All right, so what do we have here? Divine timing. I feel like a lot of you guys are not allowing divine timing to happen. This card technically was in the reverse. We got, I'm gonna say you, but I also have to work on this. Like, there's things happening behind the scenes that you might not know are happening, and it makes it very difficult because it's like, well, shit, when are things gonna happen? They're like, oh, it's happening already. You just don't see it. But it does say, what you are working on is divinely guided. Exactly. Thank you, Spirit. I'm done. She says summer before you get blocked. Oh Lord. Here we go. Goodness gracious. Thanks. Thank you, my mods. Um what else? Let's get 2 more from here. Alright, so we have Heart of Compassion. I think I'm gonna wear my glasses to work tomorrow. I haven't worn my glasses to work in like 5 years. Anyway, I know it's mad random. But I guess when I push my glasses up, because I'm so like I haven't done that in so long. I used to like do it, but like when I didn't have glasses on, because I was so used to doing that because they're too big for my face. All right. There are many people around you now who benefit from your loving and compassionate heart. Wow. You guys are very compassionate individuals who, oh wow, the number 6 might be very, very important to you right now too. I do feel like I remember mentioning, did I mention 51 and 15 earlier? I feel like I did. Um, Let me know if I did. I feel like I did. And if I didn't, now that number for some reason is really sticking out to me. But let me know. Yeah, so like yeah, I feel like a lot like you guys are very compassionate. I'm getting like Empress vibes. Like you guys are very compassionate, very loving, very caring people. And you care about this when it comes to your people, your tribe, your lineage, your own children, your family, so on and so forth. You just want to make sure that you do your due diligence when it comes to being able to be as helpful to your people as possible. Is what I'm kind of getting. Yeah, so I did say it right, and now I'm getting the number again. Um, yeah, so that number was significant. Especially because it's coming out again, that energy. Yeah, and freedom of choice is officially on the spread now. Yeah. Soul purpose. It says, sorry. So, okay. Not only I feel like this card just in itself is important because it literally says soul purpose. So I'll read that and then I'll explain why I also am picking up on this being very, very important at this time. Something exciting is on the horizon for you if you follow your passion, right? Free will, freedom of choice. And then on top of that, the number on here is 49, adds up to 13. I talk about that number a lot on here, like a lot. Um, so it's really giving me this energy of like, this is like death and rebirth, right? This is literally something so new and so different. I'm actually shocked that the death card didn't show up in the reading. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it's a lot, right? It's a lot to take in, a lot to process. Um, we have inner guidance on the top of the deck. Yeah, I just heard sovereignty as well. It is time for you to pay attention and listen to the guidance of your soul. Number 46 on here adds up to 10. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Feel like you guys feel really, really guided right now to do stuff. And it's like now there's a time to like, take ownership and, rule over your life at this time to do this. Yeah. Dreams, you might be having some interesting ass dreams at this time. Um, your dreams may be more vivid and more intense than usual. So if you've been having some weird ass dreams, and I think I mentioned this in my most recent reading, which I believe was yesterday. I think it was. Talking about really intense dreams. I was talking about astral projection and things like that. So some of y'all might be like kind of dealing with that. Um, all of a sudden, okay, let me just say this first. All of a sudden, I got super stuffy out of nowhere. I'm chilling, like I'm fine, but like I don't know if it's any of you guys or somebody who you know, but like who you're really close to, but somebody might be dealing with like an upper respiratory like thing going on, like a maybe an infection, like I'm getting like bronchitis, not bronchitis. I'm getting more like a sinus infection, really, really, really bad allergies, post nasal drip, sinus headaches. I'm getting something along those lines. Let me know if that resonates. That seems very, very specific for somebody, but somebody might be dealing with that right now. So I'm also kind of getting, make sure they want me to tell you guys if you're going through that at all. Make sure you're taking good care of yourself at this time. Make sure if you're on any medications that you need to take, like antibiotics and stuff, make sure you're taking them. Don't stop taking. They told me to say this. Do not stop taking them just because you feel better. make sure you continue the whole course of the regimen for the medication. I'm getting something like that. That's very specific. They just wanted me to tell y'all that. So they told me to say that, so I had to say it. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. Sorry. Wow, delivering babies. Oh gosh. What? Wow. Well, see, more confirmations, man. See, like when people say they don't believe in this stuff, I'm like, there's no reason I'm gonna stop mid sentence to say something like that. Like, why would I say that? You know, the way that this shit happens, whether it's the way that the cards come out or when I just randomly like start blurting out random ass shit, and people are probably like, "What the fuck is this? And why are you calling me this late? Get off my fucking line." Sorry guys. Somebody who just keep calling me who I don't want to fucking talk to. Stop. Um, like, especially this fucking late. Like, why are you calling me? But anyway, before I get mad, I don't like that shit. Like, if I'm not talking to you, like, please don't go randomly like calling me like at stupid ass times. Like, I don't want to talk to you. And there's a reason why. Like, please stop. But stupid ass people. Like, what time is it even? Fucking almost 9 o'clock and you hitting me up. Yeah, like motherfuckers know what time I get wind down late. Like don't contact me when you know I want to talk to you. What the fuck? That is a really crazy dream, Lati. What the hell? Oh my god. Like I can't even begin to understand what that dream might have meant. That's wild as fuck. Alright, so messages of closure. This is more like guided towards people or geared towards people who might have like a recently passed on loved one who you actually connected with. This is not going to really necessarily be about people who you don't know. So we do have on the bottom of the deck, do you feel my touch? Um, Here on the bottom of the deck. So oh, also, if you guys are interested in knowing what type of wine this is I'm drinking, I have 19 Crimes Shiraz here. Very good stuff. Um, you want like a light bodied, not overly dry, like kind of in the middle type of wine. Good stuff. All right, so let's get a few from here, maybe like 3 or 4, and then I'll pull some messages of inspiration to close out the reading, and that will be it. And again, I do hope that this has been helpful. I love you guys. Um, wow. Yeah, I mean that could be it. I mean, especially like, it does say 1, 2, 3 on the timer right now. I'm wondering like, also with like everything that's been going on like in Florida, do you have people down there? Maybe, send some prayers out to them or check up on people if you can. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy though. That's like so specific. Let me turn this down or something because of what's gonna happen is because that playlist went off, they're gonna flag me and I don't want to get flagged. But I'm almost done with this reading, so it's fine. Um, wow, that was a big burp. I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys. Every time I read, though, I'd be fine all day. And when I start reading, forget about it. Oh man, not attractive at all. But it is what it is. Yeah, look, it's here again. Do you feel my touch? So somebody has been sending messages through physical touch. Somebody, a passed on loved one, whether it's, you know, touching. Okay, I'm picking up on touching your hair. I'm picking up on touching the bottom of your feet. Oh, I hate when they do that one. Touching the bottom of your feet or like the lower part of your leg. I'm getting that one. I'm getting like more of like a stroke motion like this, like on your temple maybe, or like the crown of your head, like almost like if you were a baby. You know how like when you're a baby, or you if you've had like if you ever held like a baby, you kind of like rub the top of their head like that. Like I'm getting something like that, very light touch. Nothing like, and maybe even like the top of your shoulder maybe, like nothing. It's not very like off-putting or anything. It's probably like, I mean, maybe a little bit because you're like, what the fuck, who's touching me or what's touching me? But like it, I almost feel like the feeling will feel very, very nostalgic, or like what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgic and familiar. It'll feel familiar to you. Um, so there might be somebody who you've had that type of touch with, that is trying to communicate with you that way so that you can feel them again. Let me know if that makes sense. Your cheeks and your forehead. Yeah. Hmm. Tell us more. I lived my life through you. So you might have a passed on loved one who maybe they put a lot of expectations or something on you that made you feel like you weren't worthy or weren't good enough or something like that. But the reason why they were so hard on you, like it could be a grandparent. For some of you, it might be a parent. I'm getting more like a grandparent though for somebody, but it could be a parent too. And remember, these are not going to be for everybody. There's going to be messages for different people, so make sure you take those messages as they resonate, because it is a collective. So it's going to be a lot of different energies coming through here. Excuse me. Also, based on how my chest started feeling really, really like out of nowhere, so I was just fine a second ago. I don't know if this person had like asthma or like emphysema, or they were a smoker. Um, Let me know if that makes sense or if it resonates. But I'm getting like upper respiratory breathing problems. Um, they might have had like they might have carried around a tank with them, or always had a pump. Very specific for somebody. It's almost like they want me to make sure I get that message out there, because that seems like it's important for somebody who ends up watching this. But yeah, like if that makes sense, like this person, they possibly, were really hard on you because there were things in their lifetime that they did not accomplish that they wanted you to accomplish. So they were really hard on you. I'm getting something like that. Let me know if that makes sense. Let's get maybe 3 more from here, 3 or 4 more. Again, that last message was very specific, especially because I'm still feeling that weird chest thing. Um, yeah, getting like heart palpitations a little bit too. This person also might have had anxiety. All right, what do we got? I'm sorry I didn't believe you. Huh. My heart just sank. I don't know who this is for. I don't like this particular message, but I'm gonna deliver the message. Um, this seems so specific. Um, for somebody who ends up watching, whether you're here right now or you watch later, whenever this message reaches the right person, then it's meant to be heard at that time. I don't know if there was somebody like it was like I'm getting basically I'm getting molestation within the family for somebody, and somebody tried to make that knowledge known and they were not heard. But I also feel like this person speculated about it and it just never addressed it. So it's almost like they kind of knew, but they just never said anything. Ooh, that one got me. That one got me. I'm not gonna cry on camera. I'm not doing it. Nope, not doing it. That one was very specific though. Somebody knew that something like that was happening and just didn't do anything about it. Especially because technically that card came out in the reverse. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. They knew. They just didn't do anything about it. And this is why we're talking about ancestral traumas. We're talking about ancestral curses and things that need to be broken. Yeah, somebody had really high anxiety too. Somebody had really, whether it's you or this person who wants me to deliver this message. There's like, all right. I'm also getting that like, all right, sorry guys. I'm getting that. I'm gonna start crying. I don't know if I could finish. I don't think I could do it. All right, I'm gonna try. I'm getting that somebody was like, who ends up watching this, whether it's one of you guys or somebody. I'm getting somebody was like abused and like locked in like a closet or something, or like a very like small confined space, like after it would happen, which is like the whole like, oh, I knew that this was happening, I didn't do anything about it. Wow, that was heavy. And like I said, that card technically came out in the reverse. So it's, like I said, they knew, but they would act like they didn't know anything. So when you said something about it, possibly, or somebody in the family or something, if it wasn't you directly, because we are talking about like the generational trauma type of thing. Could be like one of those things that was like hush hush within the family type shit. That was hard. I almost couldn't finish this. I almost couldn't finish this one. Okay, let's get one more or two more from here. Yeah, I almost didn't get through this one. The thing is, like, I've had readings or I've done readings where, like, I feel like this and I could press pause. Like, if I'm doing like a pre recorded for a client or something or a customer or whatever, I could press pause and regroup and, like, but I'm live. I can't stop. If I stop, then that's the end of the reading, you know? That was rough. That was rough. Boy. Excuse me. All right, so we have I regret the time we lost here. a lot of lost time because, I mean, who wants to be around somebody who knows something is happening and they're not saying anything, right? Especially an adult. I don't know why. Yeah, they don't know why they didn't speak up. Top of the deck, we have the scents and blinking lights are me. So if you've been smelling things, if lights have been flickering or anything like that, that's them communicating with you. Let's say if like lights go out, like you know, a lamp light like dies out or something. I'm just, I see it. A light, might like go out, and you're like, let me check the light bulb and see what's up. And then like it's fine when you like, play with the light bulb a little bit. Like that's their energy. Almost like they're playing a game with you. Um, I'm like shaking. Sorry. Um, what else am I getting? In terms of smells, I feel like you might smell coffee. That might be a way that they communicate with the smell of coffee. I'm also getting the smell of bacon or sausage. Ooh, that sounds good. I can go for that. This might be a person who made like a lot of soups or chili, especially like when it was like colder. Like that might be why I'm feeling cold. Like maybe that was like a way that they like, wanted to like make people feel like warm and cozy and welcome or something. I don't know. I'm getting something like that. Let me know if that makes sense or if it resonates. Um, yeah, but and I'm also smelling like for like scents too. Like I'm smelling vanilla, whether it's in terms of cooking or like in a perfume. I smell sandalwood. That's what I smell. Specific white diamonds for somebody, maybe like a grandmother figure or a great aunt or something like that, or an aunt. White Diamonds by Elizabeth Taylor. I smell that very, very distinctively. Let me know if any of that is making sense or resonating. But yeah, I'm smelling those. And then I smell like, what is this other smell? I'm trying to figure out what that smell is. It's giving me almost like a musk smell. Like, that's what it is. Got it. Midnight Musk by Avon. That's what I'm smelling. If any of you guys ever smelled like all the how like back in the day they used to have like the books with all the scents and stuff from Avon. If you ever like will open the flaps and like rub it on your wrist and go like that, I smell Midnight Musk. Let me know if that resonates for anybody. But yeah, I smell that. Very specific. Um, I also smell like Old Spice. A lot of different things. It's weird how like now like I'm getting like these different things that happen now, and like sense of smell has been heightening. It's one of the things that I've been noticing more. Aw, that's so nice. I'm so proud of you. Wow. Whew. This was heavy, guys. It's always this deck though. Like that deck, like when I pull from there, like it'll be so lighthearted and like I'm fine, and all of a sudden that fucking deck. It's those last messages because it's like a lot of times it's people that you guys actually know, so it's like very like it's more connected. Hey, Ren, it's more connected, because of the fact that you actually know them, right? You've touched them, you smelled them, you've been around them, you've spoken to them, you hear their voice, things like that. So the messages I get from here are so much more strong because of the fact that it's more closer in the family tree, if you will, versus like we're talking about ancestors, like that's overall, right? Like there's ancestors from ever ago, versus the ones that were like a grandparent or a great grandparent or an aunt or a great aunt, a parent, right? It's different. So I respect and appreciate you guys for being so patient with me during this reading, because this one was definitely heavier, and I haven't Excuse me, I haven't done one this heavy in a while. So I'm so thankful for you guys for being so appreciative of my effort while I do this, and being here with me while I do this and cheering me on. You turned the heat. Oh, he said, oh, wait, hold up. Let me read that again. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting. Wow. Does it remind you of a smell like of like maybe your grandparents' house or something like that? Interesting. I wonder if like something about heat or fire is like important. I just heard lumberjack. Did you have like a lumberjack in your like in your more recent family tree lineage? Or somebody who like used to do like maybe cut wood and like do like bonfires or like light um logs in a fireplace. I'm getting something like that. I can kind of see a figure, but I can't see like their face or anything. But like really manly man, pretty tall, probably like at least 6 feet, maybe taller, broad shoulders, cutting like cutting logs like in a backyard type thing, like in a forest area. Let me know if that makes sense for anybody. You in particular, Lati. I feel like that's for you, but let me know if that makes sense. Can you think of a person like that in your family? We have going forward here. So you guys are moving on, right? Moving on a new path in your life. Some of you might be physically moving or just moving on from new things. And we did, or from past things rather, and moving on to new things, especially because we did see that Eight of Cups earlier. So definitely like this energy of moving in a new direction. I'm getting something like that for you guys. All right, so let's get maybe 3 cards to close out this reading, and that'll be it. And I'm gonna go eat because I'm fucking starving. What time is it? Oof. Okay, 9:15. Yeah, I gotta go. I mean, I still got time to relax a little bit before bed, but might watch some of the new Unsolved Mysteries. Okay. Yeah, like when I'm envisioning this person, it's like they almost have on like they have on jeans, I think. Why am I getting deja vu right now? This is fucking weird. Like the way that I'm about to describe it, like I'm seeing jeans, like a tattered shirt, kind of. The pattern is kind of like hard to tell, like if there's even a pattern on it or if it's just like stains on the shirt. Could be just like stains on the shirt, but almost looks like it could be like plaid, but it's not plaid. It's just like I think it's just like how the stains are within the shirt, like somewhat tucked in the front, unbuttoned, dark skin, long, slender face, squarish jaw, low hair, wider bridged nose, very handsome. And now that I'm like really looking like at the scenery, it does feel like it's like more further back. It feels like it's more further back. Like I don't know how far back, but like further back. Huh. And it's hot. Wherever it's funny because they're chopping wood, but yet it's hot. But I feel like they're prepping for like winter or something. Very interesting. I wonder if they're more like not necessarily down south, but like do you have family like in the Midwest at all? Is Arkansas considered as Midwest? Hmm. Does it get cold out there in the winter months? I don't know anything about Arkansas. Action. Taking action. Yeah, they really want you guys to start taking action towards what it is that you're meant to work on at this time. And again, they're guiding you and pushing you forward. Yeah, focus. Arkansas is considered as south. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, like I feel like it's weird because like the way that I see it in my head, like I can't really even get where they are, but like it's somewhere where like it's hot, but then like it gets colder during the winter. It's weird. It's interesting. Very interesting. Wow. I wish I like were like able to pick up on like a name or something. I wish I could do that right now in this moment, but I can't. I can see a face though. Makes me want you to like do some investigative work about your family and see if you could like find any pictures or something. Like if anybody like be like, hey, you got pictures of like blah, 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 and like see if they have any pictures, and I might be able to pick them out in a picture. We have happiness. Yeah, exactly. We talked about this earlier. They want you guys to really focus on your happiness at this time. What does that look like to you as you break free from these chains of the things that have, kept, you and you know, your past loved ones like locked down, They really want you to work on that. Yeah, solitude. So there might be a time where, you might have to kind of, be to yourself a little bit. It might be lonely during this time. I did mention that earlier. It might feel a little bit lonely sometimes because it's like you're just trying to figure out what to do from here, right? It's confusing, it's painful. It's a lot of, feeling like you're just ripping everything away from yourself, right? Everything that you thought you knew, it's being stripped down to its bare, like, purest form. And now you're like, okay, so now what do I do? It's like, when you play like The Sims, I always have some weird, funny, stupid ass analogy, but yeah, we'll use that one. Like when you're playing The Sims and like you're like just like the original like character, and then like your avatar or whatever, and then like you have to build that character up. You have to make it like what it is that it's supposed to be, what you want it to be. But it starts off at this as its most central character, and like there's no components to it. That's almost probably how you guys feel. Like it's like, oh gosh, like everything I thought I knew, I don't fucking know anything, do I? Like, to be or not to be, that's the question. The man that knows anything knows that he knows nothing at all. You're like a fucking philosopher or something. Some of you might be Sagittarius, or have it in your chart somewhere. But like, yeah, you're really questioning everything, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? I love when I bring up examples and y'all are like, yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm like, okay, good. Or you think it's funny or whatever. I'm like, yes, thank you. I want this to be entertaining. I don't like this make you guys cry and shit all the time on here. I hate when that fucking shit happens. But we have purity here. Yeah, you guys are, purifying yourself in the Lake Minnetonka. But yeah, no, seriously, like, really, like I said, stripping down to the bare necessities. A lot of songs and shit coming out. I'm getting people who love movie buffs and like Disney movie heads. I'm getting something like that for some of y'all. I mean, who doesn't like Disney, right? But there's some people who don't. Disney. But yeah, we have purification here. So we have purifying purification. It's very similar if you ask me. Um, some of you might benefit at this time from spending time in the sun. To kind of help clear your head, clear your space, clear yourself. Um, Especially while you can, depending on where you live, because it is getting colder in the north at least. So it's like, if you live in Connecticut or New York, right, it's getting cold. um this might be a good time to try to spend some time outdoors and catch some more rays from the sun before it gets too cold and you can't really enjoy it anymore. Yeah, you're healing chaos. Look at that shit. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. You guys are transforming. Look at those butterflies around that tornado. I said this earlier, but some of you guys might need to reach out to loved ones in Florida at this time. That seems very specific. I'm also getting that some of you might have roots to That sounds crazy, but I'm getting that some of you might have roots to the transatlantic slave trade. There is there has been evidence and whatnot that have shown that over the course of a very, very long period of time now, that a lot of times during hurricane season, um, a lot of those storms and stuff that tend to happen literally on the trail of where those places were or are, where slave trade did take place. This is very speculative. I'm not proving a point or anything. I'm just making mention that this has been something that has been talked about. Like, you could look this up and people have talked about this. Some people believe that, you know, some conspiracy theorists and things like that think it's because the ancestors who were like thrown off the ships and stuff like that, they're protecting. They're either very, very vengeful, or they're protecting like their, you know, their offsprings and things like that. Um, that's neither here or there, but something told me to say that. I don't know why. But there is a between the two. Oh, you see, I can't make this shit up. Look what happened when I said that. For those of you who are still here, I went offline and I came back. I said something that I wasn't supposed to say. I was supposed to say it, but not supposed to say it. If that makes any sense. They want me to be silenced. Something didn't want me to say that. That's wild. I was perfectly fine this whole time that I've been on, and all of a sudden it kicked me out of my own readings. So yeah, there might be some truth to what I just said. Just saying. So with all that said, guys, oh my god, I'm tired. I'm hungry. Um, yeah, I love you guys, and I do definitely. Yeah, exactly. You see, Lati even confirms what I just said too. There is a correlation between where those storms tend to occur and where those boats ended up landing. Just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. But yes, I love you guys, and I'm about to go eat because I'm fucking starving and I'm tired. I'm cold. Now that like I've depleted all of my energy out of my body. Um, some readers probably resonate with that. You get hot during the reading. Well, not everybody's different, but like I get hot during readings and then I get cold at the end. Like right now I'm like shivering and my hands are freezing. It's because like I feel like I like it's like a purge. Like everything that needed to come up and come out and needed to be confirmation needed to be said has been said. Especially as I got kicked out of my own reading a second ago. But yes, with all that said, I love you guys. If you are new to the channel and watch later, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the like button, the notification bell, all that stuff so we can stay connected. I'll be doing a lot more readings a lot more frequently. So, you know, I do free stuff, I do these collectives, and I try to look into different things that are of not just entertainment, but also of high purpose and importance. So, with all that said, take care of yourselves and each other. My Jerry Springer voice, no, let me stop. But no, seriously, I really love you guys, and I am very grateful for all of you for being here. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your evening, or just make sure you're taking great care of yourself. Whenever you do happen to watch this, and yeah, it sounds like your people, your tribe, they definitely are looking out for you. You're on the right track. You're on the right path. You do have a very important mission right now at this time. So this is a time to take that mission very seriously and be diligent about, breaking those curses and doing what you've been called to do. So I love y'all, and get some rest. That's what I'm about to do. So until next time, love you guys.